Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Bizchicks TV, the place to be for tips, tools, strategies, everything you need to build a profitable business that's fun to run and to take the hassle out of your hustle. Tuesdays, the digital diva is in the house to bring us some marketing, some digital strategies, everything we need to build up our businesses. So we're going to be talking spring cleaning, your marketing strategy.
Yep.
Yep, paper, pen, sit down. Let's do this. And without further ado, here is TJ.
Hey, everybody. Hello. Welcome to another week of talking about marketing, digital marketing, marketing strategy. Because things change. And that's the reason, I think we said before, because you're thinking, well, it's marketing. How does it change? Well, you can see in the last couple of months, it has definitely changed. It is like a merry-go-round. So you got to
Mhm.
keep up with the changes. And you
Yes.
can try on your own, but there's a lot of information and there's misinformation, disinformation, old information, blah, blah, blah. So we try to keep it fresh and new here. So that's why we're talking about spring cleaning, your marketing strategy. Yesterday was the first day of spring, March 20th. So we need to look at our marketing strategy. We need to look at it, refresh it, revive it, put a fresh coat of paint, change the drapes, wash the whatever you do in your home. It's time to do for marketing strategy because you may not have changed things since Chat GPT, GPT-4 came around. There's a lot of talk about that. I know you're tired of hearing about it. And I've actually seen people on like Twitter and stuff, like because there's people that are just going, this everything is GPT-4, and they're tired of hearing about it. And then the news talks about it. But we've got to talk about it because it is one of those things that has changed in the marketing world. So you need to make sure your marketing strategy is up, keeping up with that.
We'll
Okay.
give a
So
shout out to Mark Ward in the house, and then we have someone else over here. They haven't said anything yet, but
say
well,
something. Let us know where you're from. We know where Mark is from.
mhm.
The Windy City, Chicago, Chicago. Okay, so enough for that. All right, so spring is about renewal, growth, new things changing. So we need to look at what has cluttered up our marketing strategy. We need to get rid of. So I'll tell you one thing that I did. I just not from okay. It's March. I was just like I looked at my logo, my avatar for all my social media platforms. I was like, I need to change that. So I think like a week or two ago, I just like updated everything. I think I may have missed one or two, so I changed the photo.
Okay.
So that's one thing that you might want to do. You might want to, if your avatar photo on your bios for social media, all your social media platforms, they may be from 2008. I don't know. Whenever you first signed up, you might want to go in and go, I need to change that picture. So that's one thing that you can do just right off the bat. That's gonna refresh your profile. It's going to get you attention. People that follow you will see it. And this is the thing about especially if you do it on Facebook, on your Facebook pages and things, it's going to notify the people that follow your page or your profile. It will say, hey, and it will put the picture there and people will comment on it, which is kind of like a refresh to get them to come back to your page. Now with Facebook, you can say hide it, but once you posted it, Facebook kind of sends it out to everybody. So
Mhm.
they're gonna see it anyway.
And your picture really does look good.
Oh, thank you.
Mhm.
So I said, look, well, let me just do it out. And didn't obsess over it. I was like, if I don't like it, guess what? I can change it. I can change it tomorrow, but it still got the orange back. It keeps my colors. Like keep your branding colors if they're in there. Just refresh the picture of you. And
Mark's
Mark says, rather than updating, I am waiting for a vintage resurgence so that will suddenly become cutting edge. Now you don't have to change your profile. I'm just saying that is like one of the things you may want to do
right. Did,
because it's going to send notification. Facebook would definitely notify people. The others, I don't think they notify when you update your profile, but when you post more stuff, it's going to look different because especially with Instagram, there's a certain photo of you, a little small version, and then people go, "Oh, you changed your image," and to they look at your profile, and guess what? That's a touch of engagement, which is what you want,
Hmm.
right?
Yes, it
You
is.
don't have to do it, but I'm just saying if you do it, especially on Facebook, you're going to get some people commenting, and then you can say, "Oh," and then you can start a conversation if you want. But that's a way to, like a little bump of, okay, look, I did something new on the page or and especially on your profile. When you do it on your personal profile, everybody comes out, oh, they say all kind of things about you, like, oh, thanks.
And you become top of minded in that instance. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? It gives you more attention.
yeah, which is what you want,
And you can
right?
actually start a conversation for that too. Uh,
Yeah,
Somebody reached out to me after I posted update with a picture and stuff, and they said, "Oh, and so, hey, I'm glad to congratulations or whatever." And I said, "Thank you." And oh, by the way, guess who I saw, and we just had this conversation back and forth only because
right.
I had changed something.
Right. One little thing, and you're thinking, oh, I updated my profile picture. I changed something in the bio. I changed the link. All of those things will get the conversation flowing, which is what you want. And then it's not about selling because this is the number one thing. It's like, okay, I'm going to sell. I'm online to sell. You're online to get revenue, yes, but that's not how you approach. That's not the process you use. You're going to, like I said, you're going to do an update. You can post an update. You can change your picture. Some little thing that's going to get the algorithm, give it a little jolt, a little what do they do? The heart when they do the paddles, they get the heart shock the heart. That's kind of what you're
Yeah,
doing with
yeah, yeah.
that's what you're doing with your profile, which is you want some attention. You do want attention, right?
Yes, you
You
do.
want attention. Okay, so that was just one off the top, but let me get to my list. So you want to look at your current strategy. And what I mean here is you want to reevaluate your goals and objectives. Okay, why are you on social media? Remember your purpose, and it is not to sell. It is to be a resource, know, like, and trust. Make sure that you're doing those things that foster that because it's about the customer journey. I'm starting to hear a lot of talk when I go online. People are starting to write articles and talk about the customer journey. I'm like, where have you guys been? We've been talking about that.
It's like, oh, so glad you all decided to join
Oh,
us on
now,
the
now
bus.
you're on board because it's not about a one and done sale.
No, it
It
is
just
not.
Right, because the cost, and getting into that is something called CAC or customer acquisition cost, CAC. It costs a lot of money and time to all the efforts and the things in the process that you're doing to get a customer, right? So once you
Right.
get that one customer, you don't want to drop the ball and go, okay, thank you for buying this one thing from me. Bye. No, you want to keep that connection going. That's with social media posts. That's with emails. That's if you got them on your SMS. This is a good time to remind them spring and you what you're doing or and don't SMS messages. You're not having a big conversation. You're just saying one or two things, but it could be on SMS to point them to something that you're doing on your blog or a long post that you wrote on social media. Or you want to drive them to something you wrote on LinkedIn or Medium or wherever it is, or you want them to go to YouTube, but you want to use that touch as a driver to a force to say, hey, I'm still connected with you. Even though you've bought from me, you don't have to buy from me ever again. But top of mind. We mentioned that about the real estate guy before. That
Right.
it
Yeah.
took 10 years and he made a sale. Mark says, after our vet visit, I have informed my dog that he needs to start an OnlyFans. Now that would be the focus of our marketing strategy. Oh, don't they have a something for pets? Not an OnlyFans, but don't they have like a platform as just pets or something? They should.
I don't know. They probably should. Maybe we
They
start one
should.
with with Mark's dog?
They should have only pets.
Ooh.
I don't know. I'm just thinking because I know that there's the pets of Instagram, pets of TikTok. Those all you guys get together and stop complaining about the algorithm and make a only pet app or just
Mm.
pets or I love my pet app something.
Mark,
There's
I'm
gotta
looking
be
on here.
something.
I don't see only pets.
Oh,
Uh,
he says they used to have dog book. Dog book? Like Facebook, I
Facebook,
guess?
but dog. Okay.
Well, they were ahead of their time. I think they really should get together. Who I don't know. I'm gonna investigate that. That's a good idea because what
No,
you can
I'm looking through here, and there's
is
not.
there anything in the app store? Take a look. But
Okay.
if somebody starts that, and it's really easy now, Chat GPT, the GPT-4. I'm not gonna say it again. That's your assistant. What kind of content does that? So if you make that and you build that and you get an audience. And here's another thing. If you're not following Mario Armstrong, please follow him because he talks about brand and sponsorship deals because he's done it. I've been following him for a while, and I knew that he had a brand sponsorship deal with FedEx a few years ago, but I didn't know it was 100K. He got 100K from FedEx.
Wow.
And that's not the only brand deal that he's gotten. He's gotten others with big brands. I think he had something with Chase. So what I'm saying is that he's been talking lately about the nano influencer, the micro influencer, because he's done several lives where he's telling people you think you gotta have 100,000 followers and you don't. You can have 1,000 followers and make money. And I mean money. And he's bringing this up because remember we talked about I think Instagram stopped their Reels influencer creator
Yeah.
bonus program, which was paying pennies anyway. Then I found a story the other day this week about YouTube and shorts and their fun, the money that they get. It's not a lot compared to what he's teaching, which is you use your influence and you get a brand deal. 5K, 10K, he got 100K, but he's been in a bit, he's got a media background where he has an Emmy, he's been on the Today Show, stuff like that. So um instead of us looking at, okay, we might want to get into the Reels bonus pro. And remember, we said Snapchat. Snapchat had something a year or two ago where they were paying out $1 million a day, and they stopped that real quick
Real
because they were giving out too much money.
right. So
So
your question about
mhm.
apps in the App Store, there's nothing where you can showcase your app. I mean, your pet.
There's nothing about just pets, only pets. I love my pet.
Look, I went in here and I saw pets. You can
Mm.
rehome a pet. You can adopt a pet. You can
Mm.
have a to-do list for pets. All the pet appointments and stuff like that. There's an app for that. But I'm just like,
I don't know. Some pet lover out there, you better jump on it.
mhm,
Because what it is that you can use, get people to use your app and everything and make it free. But how do you make money off of it? I just told you the brand deal part of it. But that part is not easy peasy. There's a certain style and way you have to ask, and there's certain things that you have to know that the brand will ask you, and you'll have to know. Mario teaches all of that in his brand sponsorship course, which I think he's starting up another one this week or so. He does like a small group of people in the VIP program, and that way he gets one-on-one. But I think he has like another one where it's just a course and you take that and you go through the steps. But there's a process to that. It's not just I see this a lot that people go, well, I'm just going to build up and just wait for the brand to call me, and that's not going to happen. You have to reach
mhm.
out to them, but there's a certain procedure and language and process that you have to do, and he's perfected it. So there's a little mini commercial for him if you're looking at that part of it with sponsorship deals, because I'm thinking that pet app idea, and then you get it going, and then you learn how to reach out to the brands. What are the Purina, what is Blue something? And I
Blue,
see the
there's all
commercials
these.
all the time. You could actually reach out, get a couple of brand sponsorship deals, doing his process is doing a live on Instagram or doing a podcast, a series, and then you have them advertise with with that brand sponsorship. But that, I mean, we're getting off track, but that's just one of the things that I was thinking about. Why is there not a something? Thank you, Mark, for getting me off track thinking about dogs. And now I'm thinking about, oh, how can I? There's not, so there's an opportunity. And this is what, people say there's no opportunities, especially now because the way the economy is and, you hear the bank stuff and all of that. And I'm going,
This is major
do
opportunity.
you know how many people there are in America? And then those are regional banks, that the smallest, it's not everybody in the world. It's not everybody in the United States. So don't let that bad news that you hear say, well, I can't start anything now. There's an opportunity. We just gave you an opportunity right there. And it's not room for just one. Anybody that you could have more than one. Doesn't have to just be one dog book, one this, one that. It can be many. Because why? Because every person that starts is going to approach it differently.
Right. Because they do everything, dog sitters and
yeah,
stuff, but they don't have any place like an Instagram where you can post pictures of your dog.
Right, because I know they do that on Instagram. I know they do that on TikTok, but there's some people that they may not want to see that, and you say, well, don't follow them. Instagram now suggests things. If you like a picture of a dog, guess what? They're going to start suggesting all kind of Instagram profiles with dogs and cats and pets, and you might not want that. I just like that one picture of the dog or the cat. Don't keep suggesting things to me. That's what's happening on Instagram right now. It's like they suggest things. So that's why I'm saying you might want to have a niche site or a niche app like that. Is just dogs. So people that like dogs or cats or pets or hamsters, whatever, squirrels, they go there.
So like Peanut has
the
Peanut for women. It is definitely for women at different stages of their life.
Yes. And the thing about the Peanut is that you think, well, you could talk about that everywhere. Not so with women. They sell this as a safe space for women where there's conversations going on where someone who's not in that is not a woman is going to jump in and say blah 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 blah, like it is on Twitter or like it is on Instagram where anybody can just jump in. See, it's a private community, but it's open to the public if you join, you're a woman. And it's not, I don't think they're like saying you don't have to be a woman, but I'm just saying it's just conversations around that, around being a woman and the things, different stages of and ages too, different questions. And it's just a safe space. It's even like a meetup part where you can meet up locally with people. So I love the idea.
I am just telling you, justdogs.com goes nowhere, and it is available.
Just Dogs, it's available. It goes,
okay. Yeah, but it's available at a premium price.
Well, again,
but that means that there's no presence, no web presence,
right,
for Just Dogs.
And that goes into like when we were talking about AI.com. They spent 11 million on that .com. I'm not saying spend 11 million, but you might have to dig deep in your pocket and get something that says Just Dog, because if you get a brand deal on the end of it, there's your money that you spent to get the domain. That's, say it's $500. You might go, well, that's a lot. But if you get it, build it up, and then that 500 is on the back end when you get the 10K brand deal. Wouldn't you spend 500 to get a 10K? I would. That's just me.
Yeah, so there's an opportunity because somebody ain't using it, and I'm like, ooh.
If you love dogs and you want to build it, there it is. And then don't say, well, how do I get money? You could charge a membership, but I'm thinking, you might want to do this sponsorship brand deal side of it. Mark says, I'm going to create the mansplaining app. Women will post and I will tell you what they meant. Mark, I know that's a joke, but that's an idea.
It really is.
That's an
And
idea, Mark.
when they say this is what they mean.
Yes, because this is the thing. Because we know what mansplaining is, a lot of people don't know what it is. A lot of people don't know what it is. You're thinking, well, don't you read the news or don't you hear? Everybody's doing different things in their lives. It might be, people that are. I'm focusing on raising my kids and going to soccer mom and picking them up. I don't got time to be. There are people like that. So you doing that and getting the attention and all the things that we talk about. It's a niche app, and that's where we are now. And I think I talked about this a few years ago about this is where we were going to end up.
Yeah, because why swim through the pool of everybody
I don't
when
want
you can go to a private pool and have a different experience?
that's the peanut app.
I can go to Just Dogs and I can see all the pictures of dogs that I want, and then they categorize them by German Shepherd, Cane Corso, da 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 da. And
Right.
Rupert is the face of the dogs.
Right.
The page, when we come in, we see Rupert.
Exactly. And see how you get people to go to that niche app or that niche platform or site. You use Facebook and Instagram and TikTok and Twitter while it's still around, but that's to drum up attention, which is what you need.
Right.
And you telling them to come. I know you love dogs and Instagram, but come on over here. I got the, whatever justdogs.com where you can just go crazy talking about your dog. And the kicker is you don't have to bother the other people that are following you or potentially following you, because Instagram pushes it out and then you get mad. I'm like, I don't want to follow
I don't
dogs.
care about the dog.
I just like one picture of a dog, and now you pushing dogs on me. So that's the deal. That's where we are now. Okay. So here's the tie-in with the spring cleaning. We just thought of some ideas.
Off of one spring cleaning thought.
Yeah.
Just clean up your
strategy. We're looking at your current strategy, your goals and objectives. Mm-hmm. So your goal and objective, you might have, I always wanted to start something with dogs or whatever. Here's the idea. We're just fleshing it out. And the perfect thing is the perfect timing, because who's got time to write all that content? I don't know what to do. I want to do a podcast about the dogs. Where do I come up with the ideas? What's the intro? What's the outro? What are the episodes? ChatGPT, GPT-4, Canva Write, Magic Write, Copy AI, whatever tool you want to use, those things will do it for you. So you don't have to say, where do I start? It will tell you, do this, do that, what have you. Because we were talking about Friday real quick. Let me bring it up, because we were talking Friday about the guy that said, and I was going to post this on my stories and I forgot this morning. The guy that told GPT-4 to come up with an idea. He gave GPT-4 a budget of $100, and GPT-4, Chat GPT, whichever one you want to use, gave him the whole business plan and what to do, what domain to buy, what product to make. Told him to run ads, how much to run the ad for a day. I believe the guy that started this saga last week, I think he's got a Discord where you get to see the process, and he charges $5 for the Discord to get in to see what's going on. Because I think he's on day 5 or something now, 5 or 6. So he's got he used it to make the logo with the Mid-Journey with the prompt, made the logo. So there's a whole process here of, I don't have to go sit down and think of these things and what am I missing. It fills in the blanks, and it's like, here's the steps, 1 2 3 4 5. All right, so enough about that. I'm gonna put it up on my stories later. I just forgot today, because I just thought it was fascinating. He just asked it one question and off to the races. Okay, so we're talking about evaluating your goals and objectives. Identify what's working and what's not. What is working with your content, what is working where you're posting. Are you are you getting any traction? Maybe I need to look at another platform. Maybe I need to move somewhere else or investigate moving somewhere else. And you do that with your analytics. So remember your analytics, you go in, it tells you your top, especially Instagram is good for this. It'll tell you your top performing posts, top posts with the reach, impressions. Um, so that gives you a clue to, okay, this content is working on this platform and I need to do more of it. Or it's, I'm doing different things, testing it out. Remember, Instagram is great for putting stuff in the feed, putting stuff in the stories, putting stuff on reels. There's a guide section. There's different places to test out your content. And it works. So that's was just doing stories. And now I'm like, okay, what's going on? I'm getting all these things going on, all of these little notifications. And I go there and I'm like, oh, well, this like your story. Now I'm like, wait a minute, what's going on? Just from posting a story? Yeah. Just from doing a story. I'm not doing a main post. I'm doing just a story, just a daily story on the news, because I know that it's going to go away in 24 hours. So I can do newsy stuff and get some traction. So that's just one of the things you might want to go, okay, is this working? Do more of it. If it's not working, maybe let's go to LinkedIn. Maybe I need to start posting over there and see what kind of traction I get and what kind of responses. And you look at the comments, there's analytics for that. So see, you might want to move from one to the other or just test out another that you never thought about. Well, I never thought about posting on LinkedIn. Well, there's a lot of things going on over there. We talked about it on the last two Tech Fridays. That LinkedIn has done a lot of things. There's a lot of they've started a creator like side over there where you can do a newsletter and you can do carousel posts, and once you post something and somebody likes or comments, they get to see the rest of your stuff, because LinkedIn is saying, oh, you like that? Well, when you come back into the app, here's some more stuff from that person that you like, more posts that you can look through. So I'm thinking, okay, LinkedIn is trying something here. You might want to look at it. Just a thought. Okay, so we're identifying what's working and what's not. We also may want to take a look at analyzing our target audience again. Make sure that we understand who they are, what they want, how they interact with your brand, your posts. Are you reaching them? Are you not? Again, analytics. And you can also ask questions. Here's a good place to ask questions in the stories on Instagram or the polls feature in YouTube, the polls feature in LinkedIn. If you're still on Twitter, there's a polls feature. All of that is, places where you can get information from your target audience to make sure that you and your target audience are still on the same track. Like, are we still together? I mean, is this content, is this stuff you need? Make sure. So you want to make sure your messaging, your visuals, all that stuff is resonating with them. Okay. Well,
yeah, this is some good stuff here. I hope y'all are taking notes and writing it down and making sure that even one of these ideas,
yeah,
can start you soaring.
Right. So you want to make sure, are you on the relevant platforms for your audience? You want to make sure that maybe because they may have moved in the last couple years. Remember, we had a pandemic and things all topsy-turvy and things still aren't back to where they were before 2020. They may be on different places. Even though we're looking at TikTok and the potential ban is still, you can still use it. We gave the advice of having a second phone, a burner phone or something, that because it's all about your one phone that has your life on it, financial information, which you may not want to share space with TikTok and WhatsApp, because the apps can see things on your phone, even if you're not using it. That was the thing with me and WhatsApp. I was like, we're done. I don't need you. We're done. Even though Facebook may have fixed it or whatever, I'm still that just is still in my mind. Like, it's an app that I really didn't use. I don't use it at all. But it was on my phone. And it's sitting in the back doing things. I don't like that. So this is where we are with TikTok. It's on you may have installed it and not used it in a year. It's sitting there looking. And I don't like that. So you got a second phone where, okay, look at that phone. I don't really care because there's nothing on it. It's just TikTok and this and that. There's nothing happening on that phone.
Wow.
So it just may be an option that you want to do if you still want to take advantage of TikTok. Because one thing about TikTok, it's not going away now. That's why I said we have to look at it. It's a long. If you talk about the government, it's gonna be a long process. They might not get rid of that thing in 2025. Who knows?
Right.
So you may want to use it in the meantime, but you want to be cautious about it. It's just one of the things, only because that's where the attention is. That's why I mentioned it. Otherwise, if it wasn't the top app, the hot app where everybody is hanging out and it's going, older generations are moving over there. They might be slowing down now because if they're following the news, but most of them are still discovering TikTok. So you want attention. That might be the place to go.
I'm thinking this is some good stuff, people. What we gonna do?
So here's another thing. Just talking about the apps, I hear a lot of talk about how it's generation what are they, Z, leave. They don't like Instagram. Almost said X. No, Z. They don't like Instagram. Instagram sucks, and the reels reaches down. All of the yap, and I'm like, it's still a place that you can post for free and get attention. Now
Yes.
we're not talking Beyonce, Kardashian, whoever has 120 million pounds. We're not talking that. You're not going to get that. The days of getting that would have been 10 years ago when Instagram first started. Now it's a place where there's several places to put information to get people to come to your profile and click the link, breadcrumbs, and it's free. Facebook is free. Why not use it? Now, I'm not getting, you're not there for that because you're not going to get Kim Kardashian numbers or whoever has the most now. So I think somebody has 200 million followers. I'm like, no, you're not going to ever get that. I'm sorry. I just have to be honest. What you want to get is a community. And those apps let you do it. Now, there's a whole discussion about, well, if they're going after TikTok, why don't they go after Facebook? Facebook is not, it's problematic too. It has its issues. We've talked about that ever since the Cambridge Analytica thing. And when was that? Oh my goodness, 2016, 17, something. So, but you're still using it. People say they're going to delete Facebook. They never do.
True.
Why is that? Honestly, why is that? Because it's the same thing with voting. People, when they poll them before they go in to vote, they say, oh, I'm voting this or that. And it comes to find out after the fact that that was not true because they say things to appear, smart or, in the know when they don't know. Or, it's just one of those things. And like, we're going to, we're riding the popular wave of, if everybody's doing this, I'm doing it, but you're not. So there's a word for it. I'm trying to remember in psychology. There's a word for it. I can't remember what it is, but that's what's going on. People say, oh, they're going to delete Facebook. They're going to delete this. They're going to delete that. They never do. They're still there. They're still there. So I don't know what to say. It's and if we're talking about business opportunity, getting in front of people, eyeballs, those are the places to be. Facebook and Instagram and TikTok if you want to jump in that water. Because of the attention. Maybe in a few years there'll be someplace else. I don't know. But we've been talking just, about the peanut and the dog app. That's where things are niche groups, because I'm hanging out with people that talking about the things that I like. And it's a good community. Birds of a feather flock together. We've heard that, right? This applies here. So know your target audience, know where they're hanging out today, not 5 years ago, today. Where are they now? And use that information and refresh your strategy, because you may need to go to them. You may need to swim or and get your boat and row over to where they are now, even though you don't have to like the platform. And Gary Vaynerchuk says this a lot. You do not have to love the platform. I do not love Facebook. I do
No.
not love them, but that's what people are. So
Yep.
we got to get used to that.
It's like, okay, we just do what we need to do. You got to do whatever you need to do for your business, for
Yeah.
where your people are hanging out.
Yes.
And it's a necessary part of business. We just got to do it.
Right. So you want to evaluate your current platforms. Make sure you're reaching your target audience. Make sure they are where you thought they were last year at this time. Maybe they moved on, but you have to ask, you have to see, you have to investigate. Now, this isn't going to take you, oh man, this is going to take me months. Just open an app, type in your keyword, do a search, and see what's being said. That's all. And you don't have to read everybody's post, just a few to get a feel. And then you move on. Nobody is spending 100% of their time on these apps. Well, some of the kids are, but they shouldn't. You know, we always say when you're a business owner, your social media is, let me look at it in the morning for 20, 15 minutes, 20 minutes. I get a break, lunch, whatever, take a look. After I close the shop or I'm done with my business hours and you got some time, take a look. And if before you go to bed, if you want to, take another look. So those are like 3-4 touches that'll give you that'll give you insight. And that's all you want is insight. You cannot read everybody's posts. It's impossible. You can't, because especially with Twitter, things are going fast. And then now Twitter is more like certain industries or certain niches that they're over there. Like if you want to know what's going on with Chat GPT or GPT-4, Twitter's your place. Reddit's your place now too. Reddit is, and a matter of fact, I had a stat on Reddit that I wanted to talk about. Maybe I'll bring it up Friday. Reddit is another, talking about looking at new places. Reddit is a place you want to look at.
Yeah. And you talked about that, and I set up my Reddit account, and it's actually pretty good. I got a notification of some stuff I was interested in.
Mm-hmm.
And the clutter is reduced over there as well.
Yes, they've cleaned it up. It's not a when it first came out, it was a place where I call the hustle bros or the bro, all the guys talking about being an entrepreneur and making millions of dollars, and let me show you how, and all the snake oil stuff. They cleaned that up a lot. So if there's a community, if there's not a community on Reddit around your niche or industry, start it. And you might be talking into the void and just me, but people are starting to come over. I had a stat on Reddit. I copied it somewhere. I can't find it. It might be on my other device. I cannot find it. But Reddit, I was like, ooh, look at that. There it is. I don't have it. It's not on this computer. But I will mention it, probably put in a story or something. But Reddit's a place you might want to look at only because of finding new information, keeping your ear to the ground, what's going on. Here's an example. So yesterday, something was going on with Chat GPT. I was like, well, what's going on? What's going on? And I was like, it wasn't the usual, oh, we're, it's slow. It was like it was down, but I didn't know it was down until I went to Reddit and went into the subreddit for Chat GPT, and they said it's down. I was like, oh, it's down. So what did I do? I went to Canva Write. I went to Canva Magic Write. Canva Magic Write was up. It was working. And I could, ask it things and have a good time with it. Now, the only thing about Canva Write is that it doesn't continue the conversation like on ChatGPT. Like if you start a chat and you talk about one topic and you can come at it asking it different ways about that topic. With Canva Magic Write, it's kind of like Bing, but only you get one thing. It doesn't remember. Like it doesn't, you ask it to do something, it does it and it stops. And then you say, oh, but now they have they put an option I discovered yesterday. They have rewrite, explore or explain,
Okay.
and a couple other things now. And I was like, oh, well, that's helpful.
So technically, I think this is just me, that I don't think it just went down. I think they might, you know how you take something offline so that you can put something in there and put it back.
What that too, and also I saw in the Reddit, in the subreddit, they somebody put up a thing about, well, China discovered it or gotten on it or something about China, and then they had a graph, a chart, and it showed like, okay, this is where China got on, and it kind of took it down. But then again, it could be that also they could take it offline to fix things or to put something on, or but they're not going to tell us that. They're just going to take it down.
Ah,
But it was just the fact that, people are using it and so used to it that it was a lot of like, oh my God, what are we going to do? The same thing where Instagram goes down. Oh my God, what are we going to do? The same thing with all of that is happening yesterday with Chat GPT. So I don't know if I know it's back up working, but I know the history wasn't there. Like there's a thing with the history. But
so
it'll come back eventually. And let me take just a quick look, because Canva had added some things, and I was like really happy with that they didn't have before. Um, and I don't pay attention to the announcements. I just saw it and I was like, oh, this is very helpful, Canva. So in Magic Write, you got to click the plus sign. If you highlight, so say you get a result with the Canva Magic Write, and you highlight some text. And then if you go back to the plus sign, here it is. So now they've added summarize text, expand text, rewrite, and edit with Magic Write. And I was like, I didn't see that before. Maybe it was always there, but I didn't see it before. So I was like, that was really helpful. So, ChatGPT was down yesterday, and it was like, what do you do? I went to Canva. I had a good time. So
right. And then we, like you said, you still have those other
yes, you have
AI
the
that's still
Jasper,
working.
Jasper AI, Copy AI. There's tons.
Word Hero,
Yes.
everybody is available.
There's a new one I have. I forgot the name of it. I haven't played with it yet. I got from AppSumo, which is a good place to buy, like, lifetime access to things. So I got something. I don't remember the name of it, but I was just like, okay, let me, because you can buy stuff from AppSumo, and if you don't like it, you can return it and they give you the credit. But still, it's like, okay, that might be something I want to use. So I haven't looked at it yet. But every day there's a new app coming out, or they're integrating GPT-4 into your existing app. Does LinkedIn have it? Not yet. I'm expecting LinkedIn to have it because they're owned by Microsoft. Oh man, they might put Bing in there.
Oh no. Okay.
Don't.
No.
Now I did say that Bing, they increased it from the levels from 6 times you can chat within one chat to 15, but there's no way to save it. That's the deal. So they have to figure out a way that you can save it. Like Chat GPT, it's saved, but yesterday there's no history. I don't think the history is back today. I haven't checked.
I'm gonna check right now. Let's see if
Yeah,
I can
so
get in
check
there.
and see if your history is available. But see, that's the thing, because it's like I was just doing chats and going, okay, it's saved in the history, forgetting that I was backing it up manually myself. I don't see it.
I am jumping in here.
If you may have to log
This
out.
is temporarily unavailable. We're working to restore this feature as soon as possible.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So it's
But
not
at
back.
least they didn't do a blab and just say deuces, y'all.
And then again, back to Reddit, I saw in the Reddit, people were like, well, we're paying $20 a month. Where is this? That people are very outspoken and outrageous about the things they expect now, especially if they're paying for it.
Hey, and I because I wasn't paying, I was like, oh, okay. When they
Right.
bring it back, they bring it back. I'm not.
Right. Yeah, because I'm not paying either. I'm just there using it, but I was like, but the people that paid are were really upset yesterday because like we're paying for this thing, and it's like,
So
well,
so here could be a best practice. Once you get your answer, you copy it and paste it to something on in a note on your
yeah,
computer.
Google Docs, Canva Docs, something Docs, whatever doc you have that's free or
Well,
notes
your
or
notes somewhere. You move it. You don't trust that the internet is going to be up forever.
right. And that's what I was doing. I have backed mine up, but the last few I just forgot. So it's like, but I know they're there. I was
Mhm.
just waiting for access, and I'm like, okay, let me copy and paste them out of here. So,
Right.
but I understand the people that are paying, going, well, what's up? I'm paying. Where's my history? Where's my this? Where's my that? Now, I would be really upset. Like, I need my history because I've been doing things and I don't have access because I didn't copy. I forgot to copy it, and the history's not there. But those are, those are little, what do they call it? First world problems. So
Yeah. Beta.
yeah, we've gotten so used to the thing. It's only been out since November.
Say, where's my stuff? Okay.
Where's my stuff? Where's my stuff? I'm paying.
Okay. But
I'm
that's like
paying.
when we went from millibits when we was like, and now we are so used to being fast
Yes.
that we was like, wait, what is wrong with my computer? Or somebody
Yes.
was like, I didn't get your email. I just pushed send. So give it a minute.
We're so impatient now. Has the short span. It's like you want the microwave version. You don't want, oh man, you gotta put it in the mail. Like, yeah, well. So we're used to getting things instantaneously, which is good and bad. So also, I want to get back. There's we'll talk about this on Friday, but I know the founder of OpenAI, Sam somebody, I forgot his last name. He did an interview with NBC News, I think yesterday or this weekend, where he was saying that he was afraid of what's going to come out with AI, with this generative AI. So I thought that was interesting. I may have posted it on my stories. If I didn't, I will, but there's just it's just so much stuff coming out. I can't even keep up with it. I thought yeah, it's somewhere. I have it somewhere. But he was saying that he was what he's afraid of with this is the misinformation, disinformation part of it, where again, we're talking about people that want things instantly. They don't care, they don't fact check. And if you share a link on Twitter or wherever, people just click it. They don't even think about, well, should I click this because I could get, the phishing scam or a virus or this. People don't even think about that. They just instantly click or they just do it. So that was the thing she's trying to talk about. And I have to finish watching the interview, but he's really talking about the misinformation part of it, which is the downside of chat GPT-4 or GPT-4 or generative AI, is that the fact checking part of it. And I'll give you an example because I've been using it to do some client work, like look at some historical information that I know. But I was like, let me see what Chat GPT gives me, and it's called hallucination. If it doesn't know, it will just make up because it wants to please you. When you put in a request, it wants to give you, okay, I don't have it, but I'm gonna make something up out of thin air, and they call it hallucination. They call it hallucination, and it will give you stuff. And I'm looking at it going, that's not right. That's not right. Some of it was right, but that's not right. So we're talking about people that don't check that. And there's a lot of that.
True.
There's a lot of people that don't there's people that don't wash their hands. Come on. Let's be
Oh.
real. Let's be real.
Oh yeah.
Even after the
I,
last 3 years, there are people that still will not wash their, and it's so simple.
oh, and it's like, oh my gosh, you like,
It's so simple, but they
and
don't
it's
do it. And I'm talking about people that work in fast food. And
uh,
people that work here and there that touch your food or touch your things, and then this is the problem we have. So think about that, and then put that with what's going on with generative AI, where people just copy and pasting. Oh, it must be right because the computer gave it to me, and not checking. And now everybody's an expert on this and that because they went to GPT and typed in something, and GPT said, here, even though it's not true, because it is programmed to give you information. See,
Yes.
you give it a command, it must complete the command. They have to put something, I don't know how, but there's gotta be a fact check part of this.
Right.
But the horse is out the barn.
I think I saw something on Tech Brew. I need to look it up, where they have something that somebody is checking stuff.
Okay.
So let me see if I can find that
Um,
article. But
but
it
see
was, and
but
I'll
see
send it to you, TJ,
okay,
so
yeah,
you can
yeah.
take a
But
look
see,
at it.
here's the thing that it hallucinates. They call it hallucination.
Like it's been on drugs or something.
It
Okay.
it makes things up out of thin air because you asked it to give you something. See, how do they fix that? That's the part that I'm like,
Yes. Yeah.
and if
Well,
the founder of OpenAI is afraid of this, what about the
mm,
rest of us? Terrified. He's like, "Oh, I'm
okay.
afraid of misinformation," and I'm thinking, just 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 for a minute, let's think about if they put. I've heard talk about putting this in something about mental health. Trying to remember what it was, and I'm thinking that's medical stuff. That it cannot be a part of that unless it's thoroughly, triply fact checked by a human because I just said it hallucinates. It gives you information. It doesn't check it. It just gives it to you based on what it thinks you want. And I've seen it. I've seen it happen to me. And I'm like, okay, if I didn't fact check that thing and just posted it or just use some of the information, I would be wrong. And the people that know, because we are human, we know, we were doing this before GPT-4 came along. People going, well, that's wrong. So a lot of people gonna get caught out there in high level capacity of, okay, they did a shortcut because they were running out of time or something and ran this thing through GPT and it gave them something that was wrong and they posted it everywhere and it's gonna be like, So that's the thing about the misinformation, disinformation part of it. So
Right.
it has to be fixed. I don't know how, but
Hopefully they're gonna fix it.
I do. Something has to be done because I don't want the government using this thing. I don't want the medical industry using this thing like that. No, I want to talk to a doctor. I don't want to talk to Doctor Chat GPT 4. So I read something about the mental health industry or something of medical and GPT-4, and I was like, whoa, wait a minute now, let's slow down. So you got to watch it. All right, so let's get back to the spring cleaning. Let's wrap this up. So it's just you want to have an effective marketing strategy. That's what it is. It's just taking a look and saying, is this working the way that I set it up? Is it working? Do I have to tweak it a little bit? You probably do because we've been talking about the GPT-4. You might want to tweak it for some of that. You don't
Right.
have to use it. I'm just saying that is a factor in content creation now, where you're going to see more and more of it, and it's going to be to where these platforms are just going to make content for you. We're not even going to have to input stuff. It's going to make it. But you want to make sure that you're looking at your insights, your target audience, your insights, you're making sure your goals and objectives are the same, making sure that your audience is where you thought they were. They may have moved on or they may be talking about something new. Just keep your ear out. Just make sure you make room for that. And that's what it's all about. So this is something you might want to do. Spring is good time. And then when fall comes, that's another time you might want to look at it because it's 6 months later. You might want to look at it. And we're definitely going to be in a different position 6 months from now. We're definitely going to be in a different position. There'll be something we got to look at and do. And that's just how it is. Everything's moving faster. If you haven't noticed,
Yeah, it
everything's
is.
moving faster.
It
So,
is.
so we got to keep up. I know it's dizzying. I know it's, who's got the time? I have the time. I'm looking at it for you. So if it's something we need to look at, we'll definitely talk about it on the Tuesday show, or we'll talk about it definitely on the Tech Friday show. It'll be brought up between those two places. So just make sure you're here, make sure you're listening. If you're not live, watch the replay. You can watch the replay. I watch the replays all the time. Because I forget what I said. I'm like, I said something about this, and then I go back and I'm listening. I'm like, oh, okay. And then I'm gonna start using like little voice clips and things. I had an idea yesterday, so I'm gonna try that today. So we'll see. But that's it. So you want to do your spring cleaning for your marketing strategy to make sure that everything's on track, that you're reaching the people that you need to reach, your goals are being met, and you know your business is growing. That's the purpose. That's it.
This is good stuff. I am. You've upped my social media marketing game. You helped me, actually marketing in general, having me think differently about how to do things, and it's made it easier too to connect with clients. It's
Well,
not
good.
difficult.
Because see, the idea marketing is marketing. The marketing we're doing today is the marketing they did on Mad Men in the 60s. It's just the tools are different. The
Right.
process is the same. Marketing is marketing. It's about getting in front of people. How do I get in front of people? What are the minds of the people that I want them to buy? What are they thinking? What are they doing? What are they feeling? So think about now versus say the 60s. Things are totally 1000% different. But the whole process of, okay, we need to get in front of people in order to what? In order to sell this, or to educate them about buying this down the road. All that is the same. It's just now we're using Chat GPT, GPT-4. There'll be something else. Social media. We're using social media. We've gotten used to using that. Remember, 10 years ago, we weren't using, was it 10 or 15? Maybe 15 years ago, we weren't using social media for this. We were
True.
just doing things. But weren't using it for business like we're using it now. So
It's true.
there you have it.
This was good stuff.
Thank you.
So you need to follow TJ everywhere. It's easy to do now.
Yeah, Terry Johnson online.
Yes. And then make sure that you are connected with her. Let me pull this up. Make sure you're connected. And the reason why you want to be connected is because you can get up to the minute social media, up to the minute marketing tips and hints and things to help you in the trenches while you are in there. Whoops, okay, I need to change something up. You can do it right then based on the information that you get. You'll get notified and you'll get freebies, I understand.
Yeah, freebies. There's one in there too. I'm working on another. There'll be more in there. My Discord is free. But I was like, oh, people are selling access to that Discord. Like, wow. But mine is free. But there'll be, whatever thing that comes from here, like a mini workshop or this or that, that information will be in the Discord. So you might want to be in there because you might get some goodies that if you're outside of the Discord, you don't get. So
Correct.
and if you need help with, okay, well, I need to know how to use the Discord or whatever. Just send me a message.
Yeah, she'll walk you through that because when I first went in the Discord, I was like, "Woo, what is going on?"
Yeah, and then I want to make mine more simple because there's a lot of when you go in, you'll see there's categories on the left. One of them is freebies and breaking news and some other things I threw in there. And I'm like, I might just take them out because when you go in, there's a lot of stuff. And I've seen other people do Discords where they have to answer questions in order to comment, and it's a lot. It's a lot of moving parts, but I just want to make mine simple for now. So
Yeah,
but
so
join it.
yeah, so we thank you for being a part, and We invite you to become a part of Bizchicks, and it's no cost for you to become a part. We do have a Discord channel, but we are still working on some stuff. So right now, just join us on our YouTube channel. That's where you find our community. Just pop right on over there, hit the subscribe button, or you can just go to bizchicks.net and it'll take you right there. And another way to do it is use our text system. Just text biz to 33777 so we can keep you updated on all things Bizchicks. And yeah, become a part of this community. We'd love to hear from you and how you're doing.
Yeah.
So with that in mind, we want to say thank you very much to all of those who watch live and on the replay. We look forward to seeing you tomorrow and the rest of the week. We got a lot of great shows coming up. Coach Karen tomorrow, Robin on Thursday, and then Friday, TJ will be back with Terry and Dr. Tachi and myself, and we'll be talking tech to help you with your technical part of running your business. Yeah. So come on back. We'll see you again real soon.
Thank you for watching, everybody.
All righty.
Have a good one.
You too.